Peace, power, and prosperity. Peace, power, and prosperity. It's your comrade, your brother, Yafeuh Balogun. It's pronounced Yafeuh Balogun. Just wanted to talk about local politics, things of that nature. I think it's important. Tell you about my experiences. The first person that I ever briefly assisted in any type of political campaign was Mr. Al Lipscomb. Um, Briefly assisting him with putting out signs in kind of the voters' yards and things of that nature, which was important. Al Lipscomb, of course, was a well-known hero here in the city of Dallas. And I wasn't too old. His last campaign that he ever ran, I was a part of that, along with other comrades that affiliated with my circle. I was a part of that process, and just acknowledging it and being a part of it really more so opened my eyes. I would say this was obviously the early 2000. I think he passed away in 2011. Um, a second experience to that was Mr. Khaleef Hasan. Khaleef Hasan was a member of the Dallas branch of the Black Panther Party in the early 70s, a very key member. Uh, I hear the elders, they sometimes call him Khalifa Hassan, Charlie Paul Henderson, whichever works in their context of their talking. And I remember he ran in District 3 for the Dallas City Council, whereas Mr. Lipscomb ran for District 8 against James Frantroy. I think it was his last campaign, and I'm speaking in reference to Mr. Al Lipscomb, who was a well-known individual in this community. In fact, he has a street name in his honor in South Dallas. All of this I kind of bring up to say that there was more so kind of a foundation for me as far as seeing kind of the movement people engaged in politics. Now, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Why does any of that matter? Why does any of that matter? We shouldn't be dealing with that at all. Some folks say that. I feel at this point that we should, because that's kind of where our people are at. That's where their focus is at. And we're more so reaching them where they at, kind of reaching down to where they at in hopes to pull them up. But we can't be so far up or so far separated, so far isolated from the community, from the people, that we can't relate to them. It's the same thing that we kind of feel with our mutual aid. The mutual aid is supposed to bridge the gap between the organization, the mission, and the community, the people, etc. That's the same thing for a program. So it's my philosophy, in which has been taught by certain elders in the community that's still alive today, is that we use the politics to platform the movement. It's the politics that platform the movement, and it gives us an opportunity to express contradictions that exist, corruption that exists, inconsistencies that exist. We use the politics to do that. So I encourage my comrades in my circle. I probably can't influence anyone outside of my circle, but the comrades within my circle to get engaged locally on every level possible locally, and attempt to influence it for the betterment of our community. Absolutely, I agree with this concept. Whereas if you ask me this maybe 20 years ago, and even then when I was working with Khaleef Hasan and Al Lipscomb, I did not fully understand. I did not fully understand then how important it is now. And the reason why I say it's important, because it gives us an opportunity to conversate and dialogue with the community on a broader scale. And it challenges our philosophies and our positions and our perspectives and our politics. It challenges to have that conversation. It makes no sense to be in a corner having this conversation amongst ourselves. It makes no sense. We have to be willing to engage the community. We had a group, a collective group that we had several years back in 2019. We called it the Community Engagement Specialists because we wanted to increase engagement and we felt that it was important. And I still think it's important that everything is based upon engagement in relationships. And the more engagement that you have, the more relationships that you have, the better off or more clear and more confident that your position is. And so I recommend to anybody that's out there, that's thinking about it, that's considering it, get engaged in your community. Absolutely. If that's what you're for, stand on it all the way. But do not be afraid to engage politically, especially locally. Understand the differences. I'm saying locally, whereas you can step outside your door and greet your neighbors and ask your neighbors for support. People that actually know you, people that actually see you, people that see you pull up in your car, people that may see your kids and your wife and your family. Those are the people that you're asking for support. I'm talking about locally. Let's engage the community more. Let's get more brothers and sisters, more folks in the community. Let's get them active. Let's get them engaged, and let's send them down to City Hall or the State House or wherever else. But let's engage them locally. Again, I have been Yafeuh Balogun. I just kind of want to reach folks where they at. Reach folks where they at. This is Yafeuh Balogun. I'm a street reporter. I consider myself a street reporter, and most times, often, you're gonna get something from me actively engaged in the community in the streets. You do me a big favor, like, share, subscribe to my channel. I probably should have said that in the beginning, but I didn't. So like, share, subscribe to my channel, and share it because I think this is something that we absolutely need to take into to digest it, and that we have to engage our people in our community where they at and make it make sense to them. So peace, power, and prosperity. And I'll catch you on the next one.